What's up, guys? This is going to be a quick update. I'm going to make an actual better video, if you will, but I wanted to give a short and quick update for the people that have been following my health issues and my progress with the hernia. It's related to the last video that I post, not how to cough, because that was kind of I learned a better trick, and I share stuff like that in my videos, but more about my hernia journey. If you've watched that video, my hernia journey throughout the years. So where I'm at now, there's been a new development. The hernia itself, I think, is doing way better. It's way more stable. I do get a little bit of, I'm wearing my binder, by the way. I have to wear it for 6 weeks. I'm gonna wear it for 8 weeks. I'm just gonna be treat myself like an eggshell for a good bit, because I don't want to experience this again. Voice is starting to come back because I can take deeper breaths. All that internal abdominal, intra-abdominal pain is getting way better. I'm back to work. I'm actually picking stuff up, being careful. I'm in IT, so I have to deploy equipment a lot. So I'm picking up monitors. I pick up like one at a time and stack them and, do things like that. But also, I do at times right at my belly button. Like if this is my belly button, imagine the lower, from your video angle, it would be this side, but it's my right side. Lower right for me is here. But I get a little bitty, every time I feel this pull, it's right at my umbilical stalk, or your umbilicus. And I'll feel a pull, and I don't know if you've watched a video. You do yourself a service if you watched a video on how they do the laparoscopic robot-assisted surgery for hernia repairs, umbilical specifically, because that's where my center of mine is. But when they suture, they're like rivets. So there's an internal suture that presses up, and there's an external one that kind of snaps it. And I honestly feel like there's one of them that the surgeon got a little too tight. And so when I'm moving a little wrong or exerting a little too hard, I'll feel pressure on that very, very one. And I called to talk about it, and his office basically said to either tighten up or loosen my binder. And his nurse actually responded in our portal, and she said, "I think you may have it too loose." That's actually not true. I've come to find out that at the times that I'm really feeling the pressure, my binder's too tight. And it's a weird, odd thing, but you guys have seen my abdomen. People who have abdominal fat as much as I do, if your binder's really tight, it generates a lot of internal focused intra-abdominal pressure. And when I'm walking or picking things up, you engage your center, you engage your core, or you're really pulling your belly button toward your spine. And when I do that, I need space for the extra fat, the mass, to disperse evenly. When you have the binder on too tight, it stops that disbursement. So I know, as odd as it sounds, under periods where I'm exerting more, I need to loosen my binder. I found that to be the trick. So maybe I'll talk about that too in another video. Because it seems counterintuitive. You think your binder needs to be tighter. It actually needs to be looser if you're overweight. If you're slim, you probably tighter's fine, because you're just pressing muscles, and the fat that's surrounding all the muscle isn't being gushed in, creating internal pressure. It's just too much pressure. Anyways, I've learned to manage that, and over the next, this is 4 weeks out, by the way, if you've been watching my videos. I'm at the 4th week as of yesterday. And that's a lot better. It feels better now and more stable. I can go longer periods with it completely off. I can sleep and turn on my side at this point now. But there's something I wanted to notify you guys about. So all that blood that you saw is almost all gone. My body's processed a lot of it. I'll do an update video that shows that too, but not right now. What I want to tell you guys is I've developed a deep vein thrombosis. So because of the fact that, and I mentioned this in my other videos, I had trouble sleeping in bed. I was sleeping on this recliner, and there's a middle section right here, right there, that extends out, and the leg goes out. And that's how I was sleeping for a long time. And the bar, let me go ahead and open this up and show you. So I'm reclined. Hopefully you can see this. I can't tell, but there's a bar right here. And look where my calves are. So when I'm sleeping in this, both my calves are right on that bar. And probably around the time that I recorded the last video that I posted out, and even in one of my shorts, I think I was souped up on pain medicine. By the way, when I recorded that short at like 4 o'clock in the morning, it's one of those. It's almost like drunk posting, but probably Valium at that point. But that bar that's hard at the end of this recliner that I was sleeping in like this, I developed, I think, 2 DVTs. So by the end of the week of the video that I posted 3 weeks ago, I had a lot of pain still in my left calf. The pain in my right calf resolved. Ironically, after the pain in my right calf resolved, I spent the next full day, I could hardly breathe. I'd go walk just around my living room, downstairs and upstairs, one trip, out of breath. I could hardly talk. I could hardly take a deep breath and breathe. And it's because I think that I had processed my right calf clot, and I was experiencing a pulmonary embolism that I was probably actually processing. That happened for about a day. My breathing improved the next day. The following day of that, I went to the doctor. He asked how I was doing. I explained, I showed him all the blood. I showed him all of my other stuff, told him about the internal bleeding. We caught up on what needs to happen, and he asked about anything else. And I honestly wasn't going to mention my left calf because it was still pretty sore. And I said, yeah, I've still got a persistent pain in my left calf. And he's like, well, given what's happened in your history, I think we'd be doing a disservice if we didn't have it scanned. And I'm like, it's not going to be a clot, man. It's probably just sore. It's probably just blah, blah, blah. Of course it was a clot. I went scanned. Immediately they found a clot. The girl, since I work for the same health center, she told me immediately, she said, Chris, I'm not going to waste your time. You have a clot. We're going to notify your doctor right now. They got me on Eliquis, very powerful anticoagulant, and a strong dose for a week. I was on a double dose. At this point now, I'm on the maintenance dose. The pain in my calf's gone, but literally I'm positive that it was caused by how I had to sleep and I didn't even realize it. So my video I'm going to make next is kind of be something that doctors don't tell you. They didn't mention to me that this might be an issue and things I could have done to prevent it. But I'm going to make a video about that too, because I just try to learn from all these experiences and put together information that might help you guys out with your own personal problems, and try to make it safer for all of us. But I'm processing a clot right now. I have it still in my calf, I think, and I'm on Eliquis for 3 to 6 months. I'll go back and have a scan before we stop taking it. I don't feel any more pain in my calf. Literally that resolved after half a week of being on Eliquis. And from what I've done on research, the clot doesn't go away that fast. It's just the pain and the inflammation around it might stop because it gets stabilized by Eliquis, and then your body slowly disassembles the fibrin that makes the clot up. But that can take months. So I have a DVT. The hernia itself's doing way better. All of that blood has been processed almost completely out. That is way better. And my pain is I don't even take pain medicine. I don't have to take Tylenol or Advil or anything. I do a lot of heat. I've got a hot pad over there on the floor. I do a lot of heat, and I actually have a red light therapy mask that I put the red light therapy mask directly on my abdomen to try to do deep tissue healing stimulation. I'm a big fan of funky stuff, so I try things that hopefully help, and I've screwed myself up before by doing these weird things too. So anyways, there's the update. I said it was going to be a short one. It's been a freaking 9-minute video at this point. I appreciate you guys who keep me in your thoughts and prayers, and I want you to know I read every single comment. I appreciate it, even the haters. I welcome all of it, because sometimes the hateful comments will make me do better and make better content. But I'm definitely doing way better. My meals have become more balanced, and I feel better. My energy levels have come back. My blood work looks really good. That's another reason I'm also tired, and why I went to the doctor after that video I made last. He wanted to check my blood, and my blood was slowly creeping back up. My hemoglobin was to the bottom threshold of normal. So my body's been building back up. I'm taking an iron supplement to help build that back up. I'm also taking a stool softener so that the excess iron, because it's strong, it's 45 milligrams of iron a day. has been causing me mild constipation, but now that I'm taking stool softeners with it daily, everything's been good. So another tip, you should take them daily if you're on iron supplements, especially really, really strong ones. All right, that's the quick update, 10 minutes. Thanks, take it easy.